Hey, what's going on, guys?
This is Dani.
And of course, this is Dev. And as usual, you guys are watching Dani Dev TV. Today's topic, we haven't done a poly video in a little minute, so we're going to talk about polyamory as a whole.
Yeah.
And I mean, polyamory is a newer term, but just the concept behind that anyway. Where does that mindset actually really start if we were ever even really monogamous to begin with? So
where are you trying to go with this?
I mean the thing with me is even like we were talking about earlier, even back in high school and in college, you always dated around. It was encouraged to date around.
I would say it was encouraged, but I would say this: I was stuck to one person, so that's not everybody. But hey,
you stuck to one person at a time as you were dating. That's bullshit.
No, I'm saying like I was dating someone my senior year, so I mean it was just
Okay, but okay.
We thought we were gonna be together forever.
Right. So fast forward a year after that, freshman year in college.
It blew up. It blew up.
Come on, man. Let's be serious. But for me, it's kind of like, I mean, I think that you even have parents or women,
grandparents that say you should need to date around.
You have to date around.
You need to date around. You need to date around.
You make sure you find what you're looking for, learn what you like, and all this other type of stuff. So for me, it's kind of like, when we think about the idea of
pause, but also because when you do quote unquote find someone young, they be like, you need to date around. Yeah,
well, because we don't settle down too quickly, and you might miss out something on life.
But also, you might miss out on somebody's.
Right, exactly.
So it's kind of like, I don't know.
I mean, it's for me. I just look at it as just on the surface, talking about monogamy and the mindset.
Right.
So for me, it's kind of like, are you even really monogamous per se? Meaning that I understand the status quo. Understand that's what the norm is. Find one person, be with that one person for the rest of your life. I'm not even against that. I'm just simply saying that, are you really that up until the point until you find that person? Because it's kind of like, if that wasn't societal norms, would you continue to go without that mindset? Considering the fact that when you're in high school, when you're in college, you're encouraged, you're given advice by elders to date around. I mean, I know most people, I can't speak for everybody, but this is just generally.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard that.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what race you are, what economic background, anything like that. It just, in general, people tell you, hey, date around, have fun, live life, experience new people, blah, blah, blah. But then it's kind of like, well, once you get to a certain age, then people are like, you need to kind of settle down.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, maybe I didn't miss that boat already, missed that person.
Well, you just told me like 4 years ago that I should be dating around and living my life.
That's a whole nother topic, though.
What?
That's a whole nother topic. That has,
what you mean?
Like, going into that's a whole nother topic. Like, we can go into.
What you mean?
On that particular subject about, far as people like dating around.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a good topic, though.
Yeah. I just think, I mean, I think we have to question it. And this, I mean, I'm not trying to convince anybody to say, oh yeah, poly is for me because blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to get you to think and say, okay, well, where does that mindset really start?
Yeah.
And then how does that change when you become a certain age? So it's kind of like, oh yeah, be polyamorous when you're younger and blah, blah, blah.
Turn 27.
Right. 27, 28, you need to be looking for somebody to settle down with. And I'm not even saying, because this is, first off, don't get it confused, I'm not talking about commitment. Because even in a polyamorous relationship or a dynamic, there is commitments. The polyamory is not about going around fucking everybody and all that type of shit. But that's another topic in itself. So we can actually talk about that another time. But what I'm talking about is that required for you to settle down with just that one person when previously they're telling you to date around, blah, blah, blah. So that's just basically what I'm trying to get to. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think back that, and not just because I'm a male, but I think back to times where I've seen, grandparents give younger ladies this type of advice. And it's kind of like...
And really, but that's a whole other topic too. But...
yeah, but we could... Okay, how about we start talking about these topics right now then?
Yeah. Huh? No, I mean, I'm just saying, okay, when I was younger and dating or whatever... Yeah, I could have been focused on one person and in tune with that one person, but it was always like you're still kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could be in tune with that one person, but it's also, it's like, well, you can still be in tune with someone else, not like the person you really in tune with. So it wasn't like, oh, full poly or anything of that nature, because it wasn't nothing.
So
like,
it's poly-ish.
Yeah.
You know, poly-ish.
Yeah, because obviously in poly you should be in tune with them. I mean, it's not all the same, but it should be.
Yeah, because each individual
right.
is different.
But what I'm saying is that it should still give the same attention.
Oh, no, I don't disagree with that.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's not like that the same. But what I'm saying is that it was kind of like ish.
But was it not natural for you to do that, though, even while you were with this one person that you were really, really feeling? I mean, is it not natural for you to want to do that? I mean, because you did it. You did it without thought, and you didn't even think twice about it. So what I'm saying is that mindset not necessarily natural to you because you did it on purpose? It's not like you were like coerced into saying, "Hey, you know." I mean, it just to me it just seemed like that's why the mindset to me is natural because people. I mean.
But also, it could be conditioning because you're heard to say date around, so it could be just conditioning too.
Okay, well, I mean, but okay, you have counter narratives that's conditioning you. Mm-hmm. Play around while you blah blah blah, and then you need to find somebody later. So it's not like one outweigh the other because in reality, monogamy is what dominates society. Right. So it's not like I'm just saying what you naturally instinctually do, because in a polyamorous relationship, it's about building different connections with people.
Right.
So that's okay. So just because I have a connection with this person doesn't mean that I'm unsatisfied. And that's kind of like the second part of it. Okay. Poly doesn't mean that you're unsatisfied. It's about making connections with multiple people. That's it. I can be completely 100% happy and satisfied with this relationship, which I am. But that has nothing to do with you creating another dynamic with somebody else. Or me creating another dynamic with somebody else. It has nothing to do with this. I think that's what confuses people. They're like, oh, you're only poly because you're related. You have people even in the poly community that be contradicting themselves. You know, it's kind of like, no, that has nothing to do with your current dynamic. Yeah. It has nothing to do with being satisfied and happy. And maybe that's just me. But when I observe people talking about it, it's confusing to me if people really understand what polyamory is. So.
Yeah, I mean, that was a mouthful.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of like where you're saying, like, you're conditioned to basically date around at first, and then you're supposed to, like, turn that switch off. Yeah. But also, it's kind of like, you know, when you get married, they have, like, I don't know, sayings like, oh, ball and chain, or this is your last night.
Yeah, right.
This is your last night of freedom.
Right.
What kind of mess is that?
Yeah,
I don't even understand it. How is that your last... How is that your last night of freedom?
Right.
Number one, you should have been. I mean, that's not the night. I mean,
I don't know. It sounds crazy, don't it? Yeah. I mean, and although it's a joke, or they mean it in a satiric.
It's not a joke for some people.
No, I get that. I'm saying the overall intent is satiric. Yeah. I'm saying it's supposed to be anyway, but in reality, people internalize that.
It's almost like, okay, well, I was able to do what I want to do. And then now I have a switch off. I mean, now I can't do what I want to do. Yeah. When if you're in a mono relationship, then it should be like, well, that stuff should have been already turned off anyway, right?
I would think so. I mean, but
you don't wait till the. You don't wait till you're a bachelor or a bachelorette, right? That's the. So you mean you been doing all this stuff up until then?
Well, for some people, yes. And
then you expect for that to change overnight.
But it doesn't. Which is why we have high divorce rates. Which is why we got so many people having side chicks, side dudes, whole other families, because it is instinctual. I'm not saying that you should do this or that poly is for everybody. I'm just simply saying, I'm just trying to get to the root of the mindset. We're not talking about going back in history, seeing where polygamy or any other type of stuff came from. We're just talking about a polyamorous mindset. You know, although that term may be new, we're talking about the mindset of naturally wanting to make multiple connections with people. Because I think people also confused with it, thinking that polyamory is just about sex. Yeah. You have people who are asexual, who are polyamorous. For the most part, have no interest in sexual, physical, anything.
That's good for them.
You're not asexual, gotcha. But for them, they still want to build connections with people.
Right.
So for me, I guess it's just a lot of confusion about it. And I think for me, even if you are a mono person or in a mono relationship, I think it's just more so about better understanding what polyamory is instead of judging it, thinking that it's this one thing and people have no idea about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like I don't know. It's being that it's it's not a new concept, obviously.
No, not by any means.
But it's now more so.
It's more
commercial.
Yes, definitely.
And that's due to obviously social media firsthand.
Yes.
And then TV.
Yes.
With the shows or whatever. But mainly it's due to like just different social media platforms.
Yes.
And it's being displayed. So I just think that right now it's like it's more of it's a trend. Dare I say that? But sometimes when things start to take off, it is a trend first, or it's and I didn't say fad because that'll be disingenuous to say fad, but I will say it's like a trend right now.
I would say
because it's on the rise. It hasn't reached its maturity stage yet.
No, right.
It's in the beginning stages, and when something is exciting and new, that's what I'm saying. It's a trend right now.
I don't disagree with that at all. I would even disagree with the notion of calling it a trend. Mm-hmm. I think that it's but I would be cautious about why it's becoming a trend. I think it's more so because people are finally able to express.
Right. No, I'm not saying it in
their
a bad
ability.
way.
Yeah, no.
I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that when something is, what I'm saying is it's something new, the new craze or whatever, and we can't deny that it is.
No.
So it's just like, I mean, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Until it gets stable and reach, you know what I'm saying, its maturity. You know what I'm saying. Then it's kind of like it's right now. It's on a.
I think that the vast majority of the people who are now expressing their interest in polyamory, or polygamy, or polygyny, or whatever your poly is, I think that the vast majority of people who are expressing that openly now are people who were either, in my opinion, either already doing it in the lifestyle, but just more comfortable with expressing it, or people who have always wanted to, but now feel like, okay, well, now I have a platform to be able to either learn more
or it's I feel more safe doing. I feel less judged by doing it.
You definitely need safe spaces. Everybody deserves a safe space to be able to voice their opinion and network with people.
Because it's on people that just won't understand. Okay, I don't care that you don't understand.
Yeah,
that's your that's your problem, not mine.
Yeah,
you know, but you definitely need places where you can talk to people about it.
And I think that the different meetup groups that they have online, the different social media groups that they have online, I think that caters to, and it is increasing. It's giving people an outlet to at least, at the very, even if poly isn't for you, you try it and you realize like, hey, because I think there are some people who are naturally poly, and I think there are people who can become poly over time because they see the benefits of it.
Right.
But even if you tried it and you didn't like it, I think that some people can at least get a sense of respect for the community overall that they didn't have
more than likely,
before going into it.
More than likely it was a bad experience.
Yeah, right. Well, which is with anything.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody, drink alcohol and have a bad experience. They're like, man, I ain't drinking no more. Mm-hmm. So I get that. I mean, it just makes sense.
But
bad experiences all the time, still drinking.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. I don't know. It's just. I think it's just more so like people have to really look at the mindset of monogamy and what it really is. It's not knocking monogamy. I'm okay with monogamy. It's just more so of like thinking about how that actually works, and is monogamy actually even working? Because
you you looked at the stats. Then it would be, if you look at just the number. If you're just a number person.
Yeah.
He's looking at stats.
Look at the data. That shit is not working.
And I guess you would say no.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not.
I mean, I don't want to say that it's not. But if you just look at the cohort numbers, then someone would have you on that and be like, because they got the facts. It's just like it's not.
I mean, and we're not even talking about just divorce rates. We're just talking about just overall success rates of monogamy, meaning like financial gains. Just everything. All kind of socioeconomic stats that are out there you can look at and be like, what are the benefits of monogamy again? So and that's just my perspective.
Someone did say the benefits, but we all, like I said, I don't want to get into this video, but it was a benefit at first. and it has something to do with the more so the male benefiting from it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You know, like I said,
Well, we like
that's a touchy subject.
Yeah, because that's real touchy because men in a patriarchal society would be very offended from that about those views because that kind of breaks down monogamy all the way.
Right, it really does, and she really did. Yeah. But it you know, and I mean, some men agree with her too. I mean,
no, there's a lot of men that agree with her.
Yeah, you know, but like I said, that's a different type of video.
Yeah.
But
I mean, maybe we could do a reaction video to that because that's the concept is flawless. I mean, if you really think about it. So I mean, it is what it is. But so monogamy, the mindset. Were you ever poly to begin with? Why you're conditioned to be poly or semi-poly, because they won't call it that. Why you're conditioned to think a certain way earlier on in life. Versus later on in life, because my thing is, if you're going to date around and get to know people, you should do that later on in life too. So let's say you didn't have a successful relationship. Okay. What does that have to do with you being older? You should also be vetting people, trying to get to know people, dating around till you find that right person. So it shouldn't be like, oh, have the greatest time of your life when you're younger, but then find one person to settle down with and have no more freedom later on in life.
When your life is actually
it's really starting. I mean, it's really starting. I mean, you get to 27, 28, 29, 30, blah, 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 your 30s, 35. I mean, like, to me, I think that's really when because, I mean, you should be building yourself up, learning yourself, knowing what you want, and so on and so on. But at that time, that's like when you're trying to live your best life.
It's kind of like it's almost it's ass backwards actually. You know, I don't know. It's
flawed.
Yeah,
it's a flawed concept. So it is what it is. But
comment below. You know, if you guys dated around in your younger days, and how many people did you date at one time? You know what? I think that some people would be like, well, you know, I did that because people I was talking to weren't talking about nothing and all this type of stuff. So I think that people will revert back to that. So it will revert
back. People ain't talking about shit.
No. But what I'm saying is that it always revert back to the blame game of why I did that. I
mean, I'm just saying that's not really a valid argument because you got people in their 30s who act like they 18 and you still playing games. So all I'm saying is I mean, just look at the data, look at the information.
Well, even with those, I'm just saying like. Still, people revert back to, well, you know, because they ain't talking about nothing, so I'm not finna. I mean, it always reverts back to the blame game. So who you gonna blame for this, or why you doing this, instead of just saying, hey, I like to do this. Yeah,
it is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe, give us some feedback. What are your thoughts on literally everything we just said? I guess, but
Again. We do this on top of our heads, so
get off subject. It's okay. I mean, because we're just talking.
Shooting the breeze.
Yep. All right. Peace. All right.